This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of September 7th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. Indianapolis-based Rise Commercial District is continuing to expand its co-warehousing services in central Indiana. The company has received approval for its fifth Indiana location in Avon, and Director of Marketing Allison Barber says the model allows small businesses to enter into the warehousing world.
Many of our customers come from running their business out of their garage or their sunroom, but it's getting in the way of life. They don't have a really secure way of storing things, and so it really limits the growth that their business can have.
Rise is also entering the franchise market to further expand its footprint. The Indiana Biosciences Research Institute in Indianapolis has named Michelle Sawyer Chief Financial Officer. Before joining IBRI, Sawyer worked for Greenfield-based Elanco Animal Health, serving as Executive Director and General Auditor of Corporate Audit Services. The University of Notre Dame will continue with its test-optional policy for undergraduate enrollment for the next 2 years. The practice, instituted 2 years ago during the pandemic, allows students to choose whether to submit a standardized test score to be included in their application. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media delivers business news covering central Indiana and the entire state. The Indianapolis Business Journal and Inside Indiana Business are now part of the same family. Look to the IBJ for in-depth coverage of central Indiana's business community and tap into Inside Indiana Business for stories that extend throughout Indiana. 2 resources, unlimited business insights that help you stay informed and get ahead. Learn more at ibj.com and insideindianabusiness.com.
Thousands of Hoosier borrowers with student loan debt discharged under a presidential proposal could see their taxable income increase under Indiana law. Here's Wes Mills.
The loan forgiveness announced in late August by President Joe Biden waives up to $10,000 for borrowers earning less than $125,000 or couples earning less than $250,000. Borrowers who qualified for Pell Grants while in school are eligible for another $10,000 discharge. But Indiana tax law requires Hoosiers to report that discharge of debt as income, meaning some could pay over $1,000 in taxes. The Department of Revenue confirmed that the student debt forgiveness would be taxable and included in Hoosiers' adjusted gross income. A statement from the agency said that only the General Assembly could change the law. Representative Greg Porter, the ranking Democrat on the House Ways and Means Committee, decried the law, vowing he would file legislation to mitigate the impact and retroactively waive the tax. The Education Data Initiative reports that 906,000 student borrowers live in Indiana, with a combined $29.8 billion in debt. An estimated 294,000 of those who borrowed money saw their debt completely wiped out by the executive order. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Officials in the Madison County town of Frankton have broken ground on a $20 million wastewater treatment plant, replacing a 50-year-old wooden structure that has housed the operation. Our partners at the Herald Bulletin report the facility will have a 4.3 million gallon daily capacity compared to the current plant that processes 1.4 million gallons. It will also increase capacity on its reserve tanks, helping to reduce overflow from getting discharged into local waterways. The town says the investment will not only improve wastewater disposal, but it is also needed for the community's economic expansion goals. Aiming to fix a broken system. That's how Dennis Trinkle, the Vice President of Talent Pathways and Programs for TechPoint, describes the mission of Launch Mission 41K, an initiative designed to grow the state's tech workforce by 41,000 by 2030.
This is really targeted at employers, talking about the things that they need to do to be able to get the talent that they need. Yep. So the system that we have is broken, not working. Organizations aren't able to get all of the talent that they need. So we're going to be calling on everybody to work together to attack that problem.
The kickoff event, scheduled for late September, will host nearly 250 Hoosier companies, state agencies, and other stakeholders to examine strategies to address the tech worker shortfall. TechPoint says the Indiana tech workforce has grown by 16.3% over the past decade, a 60% faster growth rate than seen across other sectors. Butler men's basketball coach Thad Matta is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.